And you know, I'll tell you, with the whole friendship thing, and just in terms of that movie, you know, I just want to say I'm glad that that's the term that you use, because it's a really hard thing, I think, to get on screen for real. When you see real friends, the way you joke with each other, the way you know each other's secrets, the way you can attack each other because you know each other so well. And you know, Shay and I have known each other a really long time. It's his daughter, George, a brilliant actress who's in The Punisher. Shay and I worked together a long time ago, but we've been long-term friends. John and I been friends for 10 years, and the three of us, the bond was so tight. Everybody's kids were on the movie. Everybody who had ever played the role, all our circle of friends came in and did little bit parts. You know, Kerrigan was there.
I saw Kerrigan. It was great.
You know, they were all there. They were all part of it. You know, it was such a labor of love. And I think when the set, you know, when you approach something with that in your heart, that this should be a place where about love and friendship and family, you know, that was how the entire thing was run, and I really do think it comes out on the screen.
It does. It really does. Now, which one was Shay? The guy that was in Narcos?
Yeah, the guy who plays Packy.
Okay.
Yeah, the third of Shay. Yeah, and he was, you know, he's a brilliant actor. You know, Boardwalk Empire and Wolf of Wall Street. He's like one. I mean, he's a genius. That guy.
He is a fucking genius. He really is. He's in a lot of shit. Yeah. He's worked a lot over the years. Yeah. What did you think of The Many Saints? First of all, what happened when you saw Deniro? Anything?
Man, well, I gave him a hug. I haven't really seen him since we worked with him down in New Orleans. You know what I mean? And it was so great to see him. And I mean, that night was just so magical. You know, him introducing it and just being in the King's presence like that. You know. But look, that was my first time seeing the movie. I was really, it was such a perfect night and such a perfect audience for it. You know, I was blown away by the work. I was blown away. I thought the movie was beautiful. I thought it was shot beautifully. I thought the story was great. I thought the performances were just incredible. When you look at Vera and you look at Leslie and you look at Corey and Alessandro, I mean, just such brilliant performances. But I think, you know, my big takeaway, honestly, was Mikey. It was just Mikey. This whole thing for me, I've been blown away with Michael Gandolfini since I met him. You know, he came to me before this thing started up in Ojai, and he came to me, he approached this thing with so much humility and respect and reverence. And he was in this process, he told me, of trying to get to know his father better. And he was sort of traveling the country, getting to talk to all these people that had worked with him and been with him and been real friends of his. And then, you know, he takes on this role, and I mean, when you just to try to put your heart around the magnitude of what that must felt like for him. You know, I was just staggered by the way he approached it the whole way, and how hard he worked and how kind he was. He never let the pressure get to him, and then to go through this entire press process of everybody asking him these questions. That it's not like you and me, so what was it like to work with Joe? It's not like this bullshit. You know, they're talking to him about, you know, real shit and about his life and about loss and the courage and dignity that he approached that all with. And then you see the performance, man, and you don't see actors that he came in with the dialect down, with the mannerisms down, with the physicality down. He took a big swing. He didn't approach this like some coward. There was nothing safe about that performance, and he did it. And I was so happy for him. I love this kid so much. I mean, when you think about, you know him like I know him. When you think that how old that kid is, I mean, I go to him for advice. I mean, he's such a wise young man, you know, such a lived young man. And I really, that was my favorite part. It was just seeing Michael and seeing that worked, and that Tony Soprano will forever live in the Gandolfini family. That is beautiful for me, man. Beautiful.
I'll tell you, there's a scene in the movie that killed me. And that's when you get out of jail and he comes up to you and says, "I miss you, Dad." It fucking punched me in the stomach the first, second, and third time. I saw the movie 4 times. I saw the premiere, the screening, and then 2 Q&As in Jersey. And the first 2 times was to watch the movie. The second time was to focus on, you know, you just focus on the acting. I want to learn. I'm a student too, you know.
Me too.
And it was fucking brilliant. I loved everybody's performance. I thought everybody did a great job. you know. And I got to be honest with you, John, I would never say that. I thought I did a good job. And I never think I did a good job. And when I was sitting, it also dawned on me how I felt like a band. I felt like a band because when you do your first album as a band, that's your whole life. That's why people have so much hard times with the second album.
That's right.
Because they just got a year to do it. The first album, you've had 30 fucking years, cocksucker. It better be fucking good. You know, you've had all your life to prepare this first album. You've been preparing it for 5 fucking years in reality. That's why it's so good.
But Joe, you were flawless in that. I mean, you add. I mean, like what you brought to it, was just so much reality, and then the humor, and then this character that's so lived in. And look, man, I saw what you had. Like I remember, man. I remember in New Orleans, you know, the state that you were in, you know, making that move. And brother, like I saw you go through this process, how committed you were, and how just present you were, and you were only about that film. Like when we were making that movie, you were just about it. I remember even that day, the reshoot, when we came back, I had to make that speech, and you could tell I was doing another movie at the time. I mean, the whole time I was making that movie, I was always running off to be doing something else. And I always felt like I was just coming in, and you came to me. And I don't know if you remember this, but you said you settled me, man. You came to me. You're like, you're doing great. Just stay in it. You came in and you were there for me in a way that I felt that I got to be there for you in New Orleans. What was that? 10 years ago?
10 years ago, yeah.
Joe, you're that guy. You know, like you were an anchor. Like if you wanted to look at something that you absolutely believed in that movie, look at Joe. Just go talk to Joey. It'll get you. I mean, I even talked to you for 2 seconds. I start talking like you. You know what I mean? Like that's how big your personality and how undeniable it is. And you should be so proud of yourself, man. It was really, your work in the movie is phenomenal.
I was like, it took me 20 fucking years to get ready for this movie.
That's right.
Like I was legitimately honest with people. Like I worked 30 years, I'd done comedy 30 years, 28 at the time. I worked 28 years to get ready for this movie. I took 28 years of comedy lessons, acting lessons, watching movies, watching performances. You know, I was the biggest Gandolfini fan there is. I studied all his movements. When I got the audition, I remember that I go, I got this, because I got this first piece from watching The Sopranos. It was David Chase type audition where he didn't give you the right lines. He only gave you one line that counted.